Sahana bhavatu, Sahanau bhunaktu, Saha Viryam Karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, everyone. We will continue from where we left off in Ganapati Atharva Shirsham. This is the third set of mantras in Ganapati Atharva Shirsham. So we'll take a look at them today. Ava, Tvam, Mam. Ava, Tvam, Mam. Ava, I've given the meaning protect, because that's the meaning which we have seen before also. Sahana, Sahanau, Avatu. I think we have looked at the word Avatu a few times already. So I am just going with that. When you say Avatu means may he protect. Okay. In this case, Ava means you protect. Okay. It's second person. Avatu is the third person. Okay. In this case, so Ava means protect. Tvam means you. Who do you protect? Me. Mam. Ava, Tvam, Mam. I want to discuss Ava a little more later today. But for now, we will just leave it as protect. Ava Vaktaram. Ava Vaktaram. So this letter has three letters, uk, ut, and a. A, long, a long, because there's a staff next to it. So it's a longer one. Vaktaram. Ava means protect, as we have looked at earlier. Vaktaram means, Vaktaram is the one of the case suffixes, one of the changes of the original noun. Actually, we have discussed it. Vaktara means the object. Okay. So the simple word is Vakta. Vakta means one who speaks, one who expounds, one who teaches. Okay. One who speaks of God. So in this case, who speaks of the Lord, who extols his praises, who uses his mouth to speak of the Lord. That person. Okay. Vaktaram, one who expounds. So we pray to Ganesha to protect the one who speaks, one who prays. Okay. Vaktaram. So it's also, you can say the teacher is the one who is teaching. So you ask the Lord to protect the people who teach. Okay. So that's one meaning. Ava Shrotaram. Ava means again protect. Shrotaram. Shrotaram. Shrotam. So again, Shrotaram is the object of the word Shrota. Okay. So Shrota means one who hears. Shru. It's all come from Shravana, one who hears or listens. So the one who listens, so one who hears, protect. one who hears the glories of the Lord, one who listens to something elevating, that person should be protected. If you we started the mantra with Bhadram Karne Bihi Shrunuyama Deva. Let our ears hear what is what is divine, what is auspicious. So that one who is now listening to that auspicious thing should be protected. So we are asking the Lord. Okay. Ava Dataram. Ava Dataram. Ava means protect. Datara means the object version of the word or noun. Data. Data means one who gives. Okay, one who gives is called Data. Data is also called, the God, because he is the only one who gives. So we asking, so we are not asking, we cannot ask maybe God to be protected, but we are asking one who gives, that person should be protected. So here also sometimes it's meant to say one who gives us knowledge, one who gives us divine knowledge should be protected. Datara. So there are multiple meanings of the word Data. Who is the giver? What are they giving? All that also goes into play. It all depends ultimately on our own state of mind, what we visualize. Okay. I will just read once more. Avattvamam, avavaktaram, avashrotaram, avadataram. The next one is avadhataram. So the earlier one had the third letter in the ta varga, so which is unaspirated. Okay, in this case we are using the fourth letter in the ta varga, so it's aspirated. So dha, there's a little more air, there's a little more effort. So dhataram, ava dhataram. Okay, ava means protect. Dhataram is the object version of the dhata. Okay, the protector. Supporter. Dhata means one who supports. Okay, one who supports, who nourishes. So you can see what are they nourishing, what is someone, so what that person has to be protected. So there are meanings which are given. The one who gives us knowledge and who protects the knowledge, who nourishes the knowledge in us, that person should be protected. So the next one is avanuchanamavasishya. Avanuchanamavasishya. Okay. You should understand this is a palatal sha. Sh. Then sh is the tongue should be pointing up. Shishyam. Okay. Shishyam. Avanuchanamava shishyam. So there is some sandhi going on here. So avanuchanam. Let's stop there. Avanuchanam is comprised of two words, ava and anuchanam. Okay, avanuchanam. Then ava is also there is joined with this, so it's avanuchanamava. This and na becomes ma va. So avanuchanamava sishya. So there are two sentences here actually. Ava anuchanam, ava sishya. Okay. Ava anuchanam, ava sishya. Ava means again protect. Anuchanam means one who repeats. Okay, anu means again and again doing something which follows. If somebody says, then that is repeated is anuchan. So there are multiple meanings given. Is the disciple repeating what the guru told? So then does it mean it's the disciple who should be protected? But then the word sishyam is also coming. So sishya means a disciple. So it's one who repeats, one who is disciple. Both has to be protected. So there are many meanings given. So there are people who say that Anuchana is the Guru. Anuchana is one of the Sishyas who has learned a lot. So he is able to train by repeating what the Guru has said. That's also meaning. So senior disciple, that's the meaning which many people have given. But what I like to do is the Shruti. Shruti is considered the word of God. So the rishis are supposed to have listened to the Lord and then repeat what they heard. So the one who is able to repeat what they heard from the Lord is the Guru. Okay, the rishis. So that is also another meaning. That's if they are well versed in Vedas, they have heard from the Lord and they are repeating it so that we will hear. The Sishya, the disciples learn from such people. So the rishis are also students of God. Okay, so that we can take the meaning. So ava anuchanam, ava sishya. So before we go to the next set of mantras in this third set of mantras, I thought we will just discuss. See, we are asking God to always protect. Say protect me, then protect the people who are saying, to the protect who are listening. So you are asking the Guru to be protected. The one who gives us should be protected. One who supports us should be protected. So does it mean we're asking God to talk to all of them, make sure that everyone is looked after, everyone is protected? So, and what about the people who don't do? Then should not be not protected? These are questions which will come up. But one way to look at this is within us there is a person who speaks. There's an aspect of ourselves which talks about God, who praises the Lord. There's an aspect within us who listens to all that is good. There's an aspect within us which gives. There's an aspect within us which supports. Okay. There's an aspect which is, we listen to the world and repeat. Then we also learn. So these are all aspects within us. Mom, that's the way it starts. So that means this person, so there are certain good qualities, there are good aspects of us within us. Protect them. Make sure that they survive, they thrive. Because the goodness in us also has to thrive. So it is also the goodness in us, the goodness in others, everyone should be protected. So that's another way of looking at this set of mantras. So it is not that, to protect him, protected. Actually, protect the goodness, a good side of us should be protected. So that is another way to look at, because we've already started, I am divine. So there's a divine aspects within us which comes through in these activities. As a person who listens, as the person who speaks. So the goodness, the speech which is good should be protected. The listening which should be good should be protected. So it's more or less a repetition of what the Shanti mantra said. Because the reality is all the mantras are related in some way. So we cannot take something out of context and understand. So when we do all this, all difficulties ahead of us should vanish. That is the prayer of Ganesha, prayer to Ganesha. Okay, so we are praying to the Lord to do all this and protect. So I thought I will just dwell on that a little bit. So we have to think when we chant this, let the goodness in me protect that side of me. When we are good people, sometimes maybe we are not so good at other times. So we're asking the Lord to protect what is good. So that means that will be our self. That will become our permanent self. So that kind of meaning can be taken from this set of mantras. Then I will quote, yes, Brother Vimalesan.
Just to a little bit clear about the Dataram and the aspirated Dataram. So you said the first one is one who gives, the other one is one who nourishes. So it's clearly two different meanings?
Yes.
Okay.
Different meanings, brother. See, because data, they're related meanings, but different meanings, into
Okay,
some
that's why
extent.
I thought, yeah.
To a great extent, they're related also. Data means, for example, Brahma is called data as well as dhata.
Mhm.
Data because he gives us the body. Dhata means who creates us, who gives us life, who supports our life. So there are many ways we can meaning. Vishnu is also giver and supporter. One who gives
Oh,
also supports.
okay.
So there are a few other, I think we have already looked at, if you looked at Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhir Vajini Vati. So Vajebi means one who gives us nourishment, food. We are talking about Saraswati there. Vajini Vati means even the food which is taken, Saraswati makes us digest.
Mhm.
So this, what it basically means is even when God gives, we also should be able to absorb it. That also is aided by the Lord.
Okay.
So, for example, we may hear some good words, but then that has to be processed and it has to become part of us. That also is helped by the Lord.
Okay.
So, I think, we go seek something and then we absorb it. And so that's why I said they are related, but it basically a continuous process of what is. See, if you go back to Vakta, one who speaks, one who hears, one who gives, and one who absorbs. So you can say for everything. So, for example, we may have somebody spoken, we have heard it, then it is received, then it is absorbed. So you can take it that way also. So it is actually step by step. You're taking it. We're asking the Lord to protect us. Let the person who speaks from whom we hear, let that be protected. So we should always have good things coming to us, word sounds coming to us. Then that should be listened. That the listening faculty should be protected. Then we should receive it. We have a receptiveness we should have. That should go in. Many people talk and it may not register. But once it registers, it has to be absorbed. That is dhata. That's the way I understand. So I
Okay.
hope, so it's a series of things which happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Our paschattat. Our paschattat. Again, our is protect. Paschat means behind. Paschatapam. Sometimes you do something and then regret later. So after, behind, all this are meaning of paschattat. So actually from behind, paschattat. But most of the words in Sanskrit are given in such a way that in terms of directions, it's as if we are facing east. Okay. So the thing is, what is when we are facing is what is behind us, which is west. Okay. So that is the way the words are constructed in Sanskrit. So you face east and say paschat, that means it's the west. So you want the Lord to protect from the west side or behind us. Okay. Our purastat. Our purastat. Again, protect. Oh, sorry, I should have copy and paste problem. So purastat means pura means front. Okay. One of the meaning is front. So when we are facing east, what is in front of us? East. Okay. So we are asking the Lord to protect us from the front, protect us from east. So protect us from west, protect us from east. Next one is avotaratat. Avotaratat. Again, uttaratat. Uttara means when we are facing east, what is on the left side is actually north. So from the left also See, we looked at behind, front, now left. Left is what? North, when you're facing east. So Uttaratat. So we're asking the Lord to protect us from east. Okay, from our left side. Our Dakshinatat. Our Dakshinatat. Okay, this Ksha, the Sha is actually cerebral Sha. Okay, Kshi. Dakshinatat. Our means protect. Dakshinatat, from the right. Dakshina is right. What is right when we face east? It is south. So we're asking the Lord to protect us from south, or our right side also. So we ask him from behind, from front, from our left side, from our right side. Okay, so all the 4 directions are covered in this. Our Chordhvatat. Our Chordhvatat. So there are 3 words here. Our is protect. Chordhvat is comprised of 2 words, which is Cha and Urdhvat. Urdhvatat, sorry. Chordhvatat. Okay. Urdhvatat. Cha Urdhvatat. Urdhvatat. Our means protect. Cha means also. And Urdhvatat. Urdhva, I think we have already looked at. Urdhvaretam, I think we looked at when we were doing Shivopasanam. And the Urdhva means above, at high point, which moves above. So in this case, Urdhvatat means from above. Okay. Ava cha Urdhvatat. Okay. Urdhva. Again, the Udha is 4th one. Aspirated. Urdhvatat. From above. So we are asking the Lord, we have covered all 4 sides. Now we are saying from above also you protect us. Ava cha Urdhvatat. The next one is Avadharatat. Avadharatat. Ava means protect. Adharatat. Okay. Adharatat. Okay. Adharatat, Adharatat, all actually, they all related words, comes from the word dhr. Okay. Dhr means to support from below. Okay. Dharma comes from that. They all comes from the same roots. Adhara means support. Adhara means one who gives support. Okay. This Adharatat means from below. Okay. So we are praying to the Lord to protect us from below us. So we have covered now 6 directions. Okay. Sarvato Mam Pahi Samantat. Sarvato Mam Pahi Samantat. Sarvato is the word is Sarvataha. Due to Sandhi, it becomes Sarvato. Okay. Sarvataha means from everywhere. Okay. Sarva means every. Sarvataha means from everywhere, from every direction. So, people can say, we covered 6 that, but then we realize there are other places which we have not covered. So, from all sides, Sarvataha, Mam, me, Pahi is repeated. Pahi is repeated twice. Protect me. So twice when it says, it is emphasis is what generally the meaning is. So we emphasizing the need to protect. Okay, Pahi. Samantat. Okay, Samantat comes from the word Samanta. Okay, Anta means inside. It also means gap. Okay, somebody else. Yeah, I think Sister Dushi is asking about Dakshinamurti. Yes, Dakshinamurti means one who faces south. That's meaning.
No. Guru Dakshina is its same, brother.
Oh, you're asking about Guru Dakshina.
Yeah.
So I think that I will come back to you with that, okay? Let me, now that you're asking the question, from a Sanskrit, Dakshina means what we give the Guru, but how the meaning is constructed, I will come back to you, okay? It is not necessarily it's the same meaning, but I want to do some research and come back, okay? I
Sure,
can't
no
give an
problem.
answer today.
Thank you.
Because sometimes you all should understand that because I am also learning every week so much. So this is another opportunity for me to learn. Okay, Saira. Because some of the words you should understand, they have original meaning was something, but now they have taken on some other meaning. Um, so that's all I can say. But we will come back. I will come back to you. So anta means gap also. Anta also means inside. So there are two ways you can mean. Sarvato mam pahi pahi samantat. So from everywhere you protect, from inside also you protect. From outside everywhere you protect, from inside also you protect. It can also mean any gap which is there also you protect me from. Okay, that way also you can take. Some basically gives a sense of oneness, okay, completeness, like Purna, Sampurna. Purna itself is complete. Sampurna means in every way complete. Okay. So some is one of the prefixes which is added. Upasarga it's called. It means it makes it much more complete. Okay. Makes the whole thing a whole thing. And they say it's Eki Bhava is what one of the texts. That means that one thinking everything is one. So to Samantat, some. So Antat means you take all the gaps and fill it. So many ways you can mean. Okay, that's the meaning of. So we have been asking God to protect. I think I thought I would just pause here and see. There are interpretations of people. How Veda is interpreted by people. So people read. There are Westerners who have written commentary. So what they say is the ancient people who composed Veda, they were scared. They were scared some attack will come on the left side, one on the right side, back side. So they were all worried and afraid. So that is why they prayed like this. Okay, that is one interpretation. And they say so they were primitive people. They didn't know anything. They were completely afraid of everything. They were afraid of the sky because the rain is falling or the thunder and lightning. Things like that. So protect us from every side so we are not affected. So that is one of the interpretations. So that I would say that's the most basic and almost primitive interpretation, I would say. But we should understand, let's see, the rishis should have had something else. And if these words were spoken by the Lord, there should be something more to it. Okay. See, if God is supposed to protect us from above, the God should be present there. If the God is supposed to be protect us from below, then God is present below also. On the left side also is present, on the right side is also present, behind us also is present, in front of us also is present. So this is actually a recognition that the Lord is there all around us, inside us, outside us, in every direction you see God is there. If God is there, there's no need to protect. He itself is a protection. So the reality is understand that God is in all sides of you. You are just floating in that water of God, like the fish which floats in the water. The water is outside it, inside it, in every direction it is. So actually we are swimming in the water of God. So that is why these mantras say. Okay. Now I will come to the word our. Okay, because our, we have always looked at it as protect, protect. I thought I will just pause and say that is a very minuscule of a meaning of the word our. So, yes, brother, yeah, I will come. Thank you. Brother Malaysian put something. So Panini, I think I've spoken about Panini before. So Panini is the grammarian, a rishi, who basically collated all the rules of grammar and gave it to us in such a way, in a very scientific way. Even the word, the syllables, the sounds, everything has been covered by him in such an extensive way. Even today, modern linguists of other languages, they go and study Panini's work. So his work is called Ashtadhyayi. There are 8 chapters. The chapter runs into thousands of sutras. Ashtadhyayi was something which are grammatical rules. Okay. And as an addendum to this, he also did something called Dhatu Patha, which is what I have here. Dhatu Patha. Okay. Dhatu means you can say root. Okay. Dhatu, simple translation can be root. It is the study of roots. So in that book, in that work of Panini, he has given to close to 2,000 roots, verb roots, which becomes the building blocks of the Sanskrit language. So Dhatu Patha, it was done by Sri Panini Munihi. The Muni, Munivar in Tamil we will say, or Rishi, called Panini. Okay. So when we study Vedas, there are, I think I already covered, there are 6 Vedangas, the limbs of the Vedas, which basically have to be studied so that you understand the Veda. One of them is Vyakarana, which is grammar. So Panini is considered the greatest contributor in terms of grammar, who has compiled and provided as this Ashtadhyayi and the Dhatu Patha. So Dhatu Patha lists about 2,000, close to 2,000. There are a couple of numbers spoken as the rare number of. Well, there are a couple of few versions around India. Some say it's 1,943, and there are other numbers also. But the 1,943 has been considered reasonably verified one, which is the most prevalent number. Okay. And in this Dhatu Patha, what he does is he gives us the root and the meaning so that you understand the meaning which goes with the word. So, this is a bit more technical, but I thought I will just introduce you to it so that I can explain what I was trying to explain today. So, for these 2,000 odd verbs, roots, he gives meanings, and mostly, bulk of it has only one meaning he has given. So, first let me take the one, I'll just read one of the sutras, which is the 1056 sutra in the Dhatu Patha. Okay. Pa Rakshane. Pa Rakshane. So this is the sutra. Pa is the root. Rakshane is the meaning. Rakshana means protection. Rakshane means in protection. Pa in protection. So means this verb means, the word pa means something which is protected. When there is protection present, that activity is called pa. Okay. Pa has another one also where you drink, pibate, that's also pa, but we will not touch that. But in this case, it's pa rakshane, and he says it's protection. So we use the word pahi. That comes from the root dhatu, pa. Okay. So that is only one meaning which he has given. But there are a few exceptions in the Dhatu Patha where he has given multiple meanings. There are sometimes 2, 3 meanings and so on. Okay. Now we will take Ava. Ava is also described. That is a 600th sutra. Okay. Of this 1943 sutra, this is the number 600. But if you look at this Ava, and he has given such a long list of meanings. Okay. Rakshana, Gati, Kanti, Priti, Tripti, like that he has given. Okay. Reading this, so you can imagine in Sanskrit it is one word. Okay. So I'm just going to break down all the. So he says, our means all this. Okay, the root word our is all this. So in the Vedic language, we have used it. So actually, you can take the meaning as any one of these. The classical usage, not all the meanings are used, but about 5, 6 are used from what I understand in different works. Okay, so sorry, I think I should do it this way. Sorry. Okay, I'm just going to break down the meaning so that just to give Raksh. So the first meaning which he has given is Rakshana, protection. So as you can see, Pa Rakshane, here also the first one is Rakshana. So that is one of the reasons most translators use that. Ava means protect. But what is, see, Pa is also protect, Ava is also protect. What is the difference in the type of protection which is meant by the word Ava? So that we can look at, because there is a different, God can protect us in many ways. Protect means somebody attacks us, then that person is destroyed. That's one protection. But protection also can be in many different ways. Okay. Rakshana, protection. Gati means destination. Our end state is called Gati. So how can we understand how come our destination? So that also means what is our destination to realize our divinity or our state. Gati means when you go somewhere, you reach a state. Sharana Gati means you go to the feet of the Lord and take refuge. Then God's feet becomes your end point, destination. So we can say you grant us that destination from all sides. If I'm speaking, I should reach the end of that. Okay, Ava Vaktaram. So it can means make sure that my speech takes me to the destination. Ava. Take me there let the speech reach the right destination. So sometimes we speak and it doesn't reach the other person also, you see. So our Vaktaram, whatever I spoken, protect what is spoken by that person and protect that what's spoken also. What is heard also protect. So support it so that it's absorbed, that it reaches the end state. So Gati. Kanti means effulgence. Let our speech blossom, give light. Vaktaram. Okay, let the person who speaks become enlightener. Okay, so our Preeti, let what we speak, let it be pleasing. Okay, our Vaktaram. So when whoever we hear, let them be speaking good words. So these are meanings which our means. So I've covered others. I think all of them are covered here. So Tripti, let it give satisfaction. Avagama, let it grant divine knowledge. Pravesha, let it enter. Okay, so you can say, enter me from the east side, enter me from, west, enter me. So you're asking God to even enter you. Pravesha. Shravana, you're asking the Lord to listen from all sides. Okay, so there are meanings. I've just given a few. Then there are Deepti, light, Kriya, activate from me from the right side, left side, all that. Activate the Vaktara, one who speaks. So there are many meanings we can be given. Alingana, that's also another one. Embrace me from east, embrace me from west, embrace me from below, embrace me. That means you're asking God to just hug you. So that way also you can take the meaning. Okay, hug me from behind. So embrace me from behind, embrace me from front. That also is a meaning you can take. Okay, so I just given the words. You can take a look at it. I don't have to tell too much. So the protection comes from everything. When a mother hugs the baby feels protected. A sense of security comes in. So that way also we can take. Okay. So then I thought I will just dwell on a few words of Swami. I try as much as possible. We should recollect Swami's words, because that's also Veda for us. All those who believe in Swami, for us, Swami's words are Veda. So it will be nice to read some excerpts. So let's just read some. This is a discourse Swami given 8th December 1964. Very Swami would have been very young. Many of us would have been very young ourselves. Or maybe some of you may have not been born. Maybe in your previous life you may have been listening. The name is enough. It has all the potentiality needed. A single gasp, a tiny gesture, an anguished cry, an agonized shriek is enough to win the answer of God. I think this is an extra. Surrender the ego, dedicate every moment and every movement to Him. He has assured mankind that He will ensure liberation from pain and evil, protection. When asked where God is, people point towards the sky or some far distant region. That is why He is not manifesting Himself. Realize that He is in you, with you, behind you, before you, and all around you. Okay. And He can be seen and felt everywhere. Realize also that He is all mercy, eager and anxious to fulfill your prayers if they arise from a pure heart. I thought, this word "our" has been nicely described by Swami. And all that what we saw, from behind, from front, around, okay, Sarvatah, Samantat, all that is He's in you, which Brother Vimaleshan was talking about. Swami uses the word intane, ventane, kantane, jantane. This is always, he uses this to show that God is all around you, in you, outside, or these words are used by Swami. In Telugu, intane, ventane, kantane, jantane. So that's what Swami is saying in 1964. There's another excerpt. It's a discourse given in 15th October 1969. Any act done for the glorification of God is thereby rendered pure and potent. It is incapable of harming the doer, the beneficiary, or society, for it is saturated with love, which is God. So we were taking Vaktaram, Shotaram, Dataram, Dhataram. See, you can see all that is covered. Doer, beneficiary, society, everyone. It's saturated with love, which is God. God is the director of this puppet show, the manipulator of the strings. Go behind the screen. We started with behind. Paschattat. Okay, He's always behind. That's the first protection we are asking. Our Twammam, our Paschattat. He is behind us. Protect me from behind. Go behind the screen and see Him. It is now hiding Him. We have only to peep behind the flower, peer behind a cloud to see Him pulling the string, to show us the beauty, to show us the darkness of heavy moisture. So also you have only to peep behind your thoughts, to peer behind your feelings. You will find there the inner motivator. I would say, whatever we discussed is nicely explained by Swami in these words, which is also another Veda we have access to. So I thought I would share that also with you. I couldn't help but excerpt. There are so many excerpts, so I just picked 3. With this, I will stop. But it all explains the meaning of what we chanted these mantras. The divinity that is present in everyone is one and the same. Divinity is not present only in Sri Sathya Sai Baba. You are all divine. Divinity is present in everyone. The fact that divinity is present in millions of people has been conveyed to us by our Vedas in a slightly different manner, by stating that God has thousands of eyes, thousands of legs, thousands of heads. Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad, which is Purusha Suktam. God is described in thousands and thousands, eyes and heads and feet. That's what Swami is referring to. It has also been said that you will find him wherever you look for him. This is why we say that God is always available to you, is behind you, is with you wherever you are, and in trouble and pain. To save you from trouble and pain, he is with you, behind you, in you, and is looking after you. It's a discourse Swami delivered during the summer course in 1977. It's a 19th discourse which Swami delivered. You can find it in the Shama Savas. So in these words, Swami has explained what we were, that the mantras, Avatvam Mam, Avapaschattat, Avapurastat. Okay, all that is covered in these words of Swami. So I thought that will sort of make us understand these words and the significance of them. So whenever we chant, we should see it's a reminder that God is all around us. And he's the one who can protect the goodness in us. Those are the words which I thought I would share. We'll go to the next one. I don't know whether I'm going a bit too fast, but if I go too slow, it will take about 5-6 months for us to do Ganapati Atharva Sirsha. So I'm going a little fast maybe, but if you have questions, you can ask me. Tvam Vangmayastvam Chinmayah. Tvam Vangmayastvam Chinmayah. So there is some sandhis here, so let's go through them. Tvam Vangmayah, that visarga becomes is, okay, because of sandhi. Tvam Vangmayah, Tvam Chinmayah. Okay, these are just statements. Tvam is you, Vangmayah. Vang means speech. Vang, Vag, Vak, all of them come from the same root. So speech. So God is actually the essence of speech. If we are able to speak, that is God coming through. Vangmaya means one who is filled, one who is overflowing, one whose essence is speech. So we are saying, God, you are the essence of speech. You are speech. You're filled with speech. You're filled with sound. So Vang also will be say Vedas also Vang, because God has supposed to have spoken. In Christianity, they say that originally the word was God. Okay. So Vang, speech. Twang, Chinmaya. Chin is Chit. Maya means one who is filled with awareness. God is called Sat Chit. So Chinmaya. So Chin also means sentience, alive. That's also called Chit. Okay. Achetana, Chetana. Those words come. Means that which is sentient being is called Chetana. Means so speech is him. Even the fact that we are alive, we are able, sentient being we are. That is also, that sentience is divinity. So I'm able to speak means it's because you are the one who are flowing out. I'm alive means you are the one who is making me alive. So these are reaffirmations for us to understand that everything, God is all around us. God is the speech, God is the life, everything is God. So you can imagine how the rishis were able to perceive the Lord, and that's what Ganapati Atharva teaches. Okay. So what the meaning is, if you are divine, then when we speak, we should know God is just passing through my tongue. Then our speech will be good. It will have the right intent. Chinmaya. Chin also can mean thoughts, because he's in our thoughts and he's on our speech. That is also another meaning which is given. So God is the speech, God is the thought. So once we realize, every thought will be good, every thought will be divine. That's the understanding. Tvam Ananda Mayas Tvam Brahma Maya. So again there is Sandhi. Tvam Ananda Maya. The Visarga again becomes this. Okay. Ananda Mayas Tvam. Ananda Maya Tvam Brahma Maya. So Tvam, you are Anandamaya, who is filled with joy, bliss. I will not translate it here, but Ananda can be said bliss. So you are filled with bliss. Bliss is you. There's nothing else other than bliss in you. Tvam Brahmamaya. Okay, your essence is Brahman. Brahman is that which expands. Swami says expansion is love. So you are completely always expanding. Even the universe is considered to be continuously expanding. So you are the one who continuously expands. So that is also the way rishis perceived the Lord. Tvam Anandamaya, Tvam Brahmamaya. Tvam Satchidanandadvitiyosi. Okay, lots of sandhi there. I will split. Sat and Chit becomes Satchit. This it and A becomes Da. Okay, Satchidananda. Ananda plus Advitiyo becomes Anandadvitiyo. Okay, Ananda Advitiyo. You can see the this S shape is called Avagraha. I think I have spoken about it. When A comes in the middle of a word in a sandhi, that is depicted with Avagraha. Okay, Satchidanandadvitiyo. So Sat is truth, Chit is awareness, Ananda. So you are saying, God, you are Sat, Chit, and Ananda. You are Sat, Chit, Ananda. Advitiya. Dvitiya means dual. Advitiya means non-dual. So Advaita. Okay, that's another word. Advitiya is nothing but Advaita. Non-dual. Without a second. Okay, without a second is Advitiya. That's also another meaning you can say. I will just put that there. So there's only one. There's no second. Advitiya. Asi, you are. So you can imagine this Upanishads are considered to be Advaita is the ultimate philosophy in Upanishads. So you can see Ganapati Atharva Shirsham is stated there itself in the way. In the verse itself, it's clearly stating that Advitiya state, non-dual nature of God and everything in this universe. Okay. Tvam Pratyaksham Brahmasi. Okay. Tvam Pratyaksham Brahma Asi. Okay. I think all the words we have already looked at. Tvam means you. Pratyaksham, I think we have looked at earlier in the Ganapati Atharva Shirsham. Prati is every, Aksham is I. So you are present. For every eye, every eye should be able to see you. Pratyaksham. Brahma, Brahman, God, that which expands, you can say Asi. You are one who can be visibly seen as Brahma. Okay, Brahma Asi. Tam Jnanamayo Vijnanamayosi. Okay, quite a few sandhis here. Tam Jnanamayaha. Mayaha becomes Jnanamayo because of sandhi. Jnanamayaha means one whose essence is Jnana. Tam Vijnanamayaha. Okay, so what is Jnana and what is Vijnana? Jnana is related to this world. Vijnana means there's no knowledge beyond that. So the real Vijnanam according to Sanskrit is Atma Vidya. Okay, the only knowledge which is beyond all other knowledge. Vidyanam Atma Vidya. So you are the knowledge of the world. You are the Vijnana also. Tvang Jnanama, your essence is Vijnana, or your essence is Jnana. So these are statements which remind us that everything in this world is divine. Last point which I want to make is Tvam actually is one thing is to say you, God. But we already said you are Advitiya, you are without a second. That means we are also part of that. Because in this world, I think we looked at Tat Tvam Asi. Tat is that. Tvam means you. So you is actually all creation. Even individuals, every individual is also Tvam. So when this is also can be taken as we reminding ourselves we are divine. If you go back to Swami's discourse, Swami says, don't think Sathya Sai Baba alone is divine. you also are divine. It's just that we have to work on realizing it. So it is a reminder to us that we are also actually in reality the Atman. So that way also we can take. So it all depends on where we are, what is our state of perception of the world and everyone else. If we are divine, we should, at the same time, we should think everything else is also divine. We should not say we are divine and others are not divine. So I think that's also critical. That's why the word Tvam is used. Tvam means entire creation is divine. That Tvam is nothing but God who is present in front of us. So that way also we can take. So those are some thoughts which I thought I will share. It's almost 10 o'clock. This is what I have for today. If there are questions on anything which I said, I'm willing to explain if I have the answer. Saira. Saira Manti, can I get something, please?
Okay, Jnanamaya and Vijnanamaya. Vijnanamaya, can't we take it as scientific knowledge?
See, Auntie, the word Vijnana has been, in colloquial term, we call Vijnana means science. Swami will say spirituality is a real science. The word V means there's nothing beyond that. What we call science today, what the scientists look at in the lab, is all beneath the senses, or what is perceived in the senses. So Swami says there are a couple of discourses where I think I didn't bring them, where he says Vijnana is that knowledge of the out, the world beyond, the Paravidya.
Is it the space you mean?
Para is Iha and Para. Iha means this world.
This world and okay,
Para is, okay, Jnana relates to Iha. Iha Vidya is Jnana. Para Vidya is Vijnana. See, what comes out of that knowledge, what study of this world is Jnana. What comes out of the study of the Atman is Vijnana. That's why Vijnana Maya Kosha is also there. Jnana Maya Kosha, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha. So the thing is, what is related to the mind is Jnanam. The one beyond that is Vijnanam. That is the real science. But that we consider what we study is scientific. Everyone, takes this and say, I'm going to explain it scientifically, and they bring it down and explain it in the worldly terms, which is not necessary. It may be rational, up to our reason, which is actually
maybe to make it easy for the others to understand.
Yes, that's all. But the real Vijnana is not. It's not present in the science, which as we call science.
Yeah. So
Swami says rishis are the real scientists.
Yeah, they are the scientists. So in ancient literature, I mean the rishis, there was nothing like science. It was spiritual.
Yes.
Everything.
Because and see, all these translations came later only. Even the word science or spiritual is later additions. So, but that's the way people have translated. Yeah. But Swami says Vijnana is spiritual knowledge. And
when you translate, the meaning suffers also.
Very much.
Very much. It is like somebody does it in one way, somebody does it in another way. A subjective thing. It becomes a very subjective thing. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Arun.
Sai Ramanti Sai. Thank you. Yes, Brother Kumar.
Oh, thank you for this session. As I've told you last class, I used to recite this, but learning from you. But in the 1964 discourse of Sai Baba, that's discourse. Nothing to say about it, but when it's instantly came into my mind, honestly, when he said the last word, realize all that he is all mercy, eager and anxious to fulfill your prayers if they arise from pure heart. All just came to me at that moment is when Chirnyana Sambandar, the Munda, the Tirumurayla, he's just came to me. Kadalahi Kasindum Kanir Malhi, Oduvar Nami Nanari Quip, the Nannari Quip, that's what the pure heart. So I mean, there are 10, but it just came to me.
Exactly. You know that now it starts with name, Navam.
Namam, the last line is the main thing he's talking about. Yeah, you're right. Yes.
Everything. This is a translation of that, you can say, of that verse.
Yeah. So I was thinking of mine, this Sunyan Samadar in the 6th century, 600 AD or something. That's what they think. Out of that 12, I think there is in that third Tirumurai, in that is Namachivayave, Nadan Namam Namachivayave. That's the last line he ends, but the meaning is on the first 3 lines. So beautiful. But I just looked at this and it constantly connected to me to that one. That's what I just want to tell you. Thank you. I just want what I had in my mind, I want to tell you.
See, all this is word of God. The Upanishads have said it. Great sages who were able to witness, listen, hear, have said it for us. And Swami is again repeating the same thing because sometimes we miss the point. It is God comes again just to repeat and remind. Just the way every great person, Rishi, has heard it and redeemed their life. We also have an opportunity if only we could do it. Thank you, Brother Sai. Yes, Brother Tasan.
Yes, Sairam, brother. It's a very good explanation about the God today. God is around you, within you. And the main thing is very interesting to listen and to understand, and perception and everything you explain very well. And once you come to the Vijnana and the science, if we take the Atma, the Sat Chit Anand, the Chit, the knowledge, that's the other meaning for the Chit, science, or people say Vijnana. Am I right, brother?
See, Chit is beyond even Vijnana. Is my understanding, brother,
Okay.
because Chit is just awareness. When we go into Jnana, Vijnana, there's some analysis. In the Chit is Sat, Chit, Ananda is, it's beyond. Say Vijnana Maya Kosha and then Ananda Maya Kosha. Ananda is subtle. So God is considered Sat, Chit and Ananda, which is much beyond that. Is my understanding. Of course, he is the one who manifests. But Chit is aware. He is. That's my understanding. So that is the root from which everything else comes out. So Jnana, Vijnana all come from Chit. Without Chit, there cannot be Jnana or Vijnana. You are right. But Chit is at essence. You can't go beyond that word. That's why God is called Sat, Chit and Ananda. Yes, okay, Sairam.
Sairam, thank you.
Sairam Kalyani, please go ahead.
Sairam, uncle. And in the word anuchanam, anu means to repeat or something which follows. And the chanam, what is it? That part?
Okay, so I will come to that. Okay, here. Okay. So anu means that which follows. I think we have looked at anuja, anushtanam, all that, you understand.
Mm-hmm.
So anu means that which follows. Okay, which generally can be an echo, can be a repeat, all that is anu. Ucharana, you may have heard, that means to sound, to speak. So anucha means somebody who says and then that which follows. If I have said something, if it reflects, it's an echo, that is anuchana.
Okay.
Okay, so everything in this world is reflection. It echo. So God says and everything is reflected to us. So the one who is able to reflect what God says is the anuchana. They heard and then they repeat. It's an echo of what the Lord has said. Brother Kumar was saying, Jnana Sambandar wrote, he's supposed to have drunk the milk of Jnana. And that, he was a toddler. He was able to sing such philosophy. That means it's God who spoke through him. So he's an anuchana.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we call them guravars, gurus. And we study everything which they said, because they were channels, or they echoed what the Lord told them, so that we could as Sishyas, we could learn from them. So that is that aspect is in each one of us also. So that aspect of us being able to repeat what the Lord says should be protected, should be nourished. That should embrace us. All that is our anuchana. Okay.
Thank you. And just out of, is there any reason why you mentioned how in the Vedas, they always assume you're facing east?
Very, very good question. Because why we face east is because wherever the sun is, that is east. Where the light comes from, that is east. Okay, it is just that we have to fix it to a point. So we put east is east. Actually, no, east is where the sun is, where the light comes from. Where we can easily perceive the light, that is east. Not a direction, physical direction. So that is the next level of meaning of east. The sun rises in the east. But sun is it rising only once? It's continuously rising. Okay, for us it may be above, but it is east for somebody. They are looking at the sun. So wherever the sun, wherever the light comes from, that is east.
Thank you so much. And in that discourse, the 1969 discourse, the sentence where it says, you have only to peep behind a flower, peer behind a cloud to see him pulling the string, to show us the beauty, to show us the darkness of heavy moisture. What does it mean by the last part, the darkness of heavy moisture?
Because cloud. See the cloud which is going to rain. Okay, I think, did Swami say cloud anywhere here?
Yes, he did.
I see. Towards the sky, he's in you, behind you, he can be seen everywhere.
Oh, sorry, Uncle, 1969 discourse.
Okay, here, okay, sorry. Yeah. So you can see, here behind the cloud. So, we see the cloud and rain. We don't, behind means see what is making the cloud rain. What is raining? The water, which is compassion. Love of God for everything in this world. That is the way the rishis saw. Even in the water comes, what is behind, what is within that water. So we have to go beyond, we have to go within for everything and see the God, because God is continuously hiding. So that a flower hides God. Actually, who is making it blossom, making it exude beautiful fragrance, pleasing colors. That color is God. So we have to drill, it's dissect and go beyond. What we externally see is that's what Swami said.
Thank you.
Yeah. So darkness is, why is the cloud dark, the rain cloud? Because it's God, it's filled with God. That's why Krishna is called Ghanashyama, a dark Krishna, black or dark, because we think he's filled with love. Okay.
Sure, thank you.
So, yes, Brother Dasan, you have something.
Saram, brother. We studied today the God is around you, within you, all over the places. What is the main reason people doesn't want to experience that one? They believe that, but they don't want to follow that one. They don't want to experience that one. What could be the main reason, Sairam, brother?
See, the thing is, brother, we see many words we use, including the word belief. If you really believe, it's different in my understanding. We have to internalize the belief. And that's why we are saying dhataram, because sometimes it's empty, it's only at the lip level, We say God is everywhere. But has that thought gone into our heart is what matters. Even for that, we need God's help. So we do not fully understand the meaning of that word in our heart. And once it goes into the heart, in every thought, word, and deed, we will be able to experience it. That's why Swami says you have to experience. One is to say, I am divine. One is to realize it completely in every cell of us. That is a process, that is sadhana, and that's why everyone has to do the sadhana to get to that point, is my understanding.
It's a very good answer, brother. It's a very good answer, brother, because you have to take that one into the heart, not to the knowledge or anything. When we take to the heart, then we can experience it. Thank you so much, brother.
Sairam.
Sairam.
It only comes with repetition. That's why we have to say it again and again. Every day we should say this. They say you repeatedly say every day, you will realize God. Suprabhatam, it's Suprabhatam idam punyam ye patanti dine dine te vishanti parandama jnana vijnana shobhita. We studied in Suprabhatam. I hope people remember. So there also this jnana and vijnana comes in Suprabhatam. Every day you have to means dine. Every day means how the more often we think of this, we will understand everything. God will become one with us. That's why repetition in sadhana daily, not only once, multiple times. Ultimately, it should become continuous. Is what Swami is telling, and I think we have to try.
Thank you. Sairam.
Sairam, I don't know.
Sairam, Auntie.
We often say Sarvam Vishnumayam, 3 words, but we just say the words, but not taking it, not absorbing the real meaning, and see God in all creations. But by chanting these mantras daily, it can help all of us to become what Baba wants us to become. This is my belief. Is it right? Thank you, Saira.
Sairam. Auntie brought out a point. I think I've covered this in. I don't know. There was one session where I spoke about Nirukta. Nirukta is one of the Vedangas. That which is not stated is stated by in the Niruktam. You have to study that to understand the meanings of the words, the real inner meaning of the words, and that has been the book which is prevalent today is called by someone called Yaska, the Yaska Rishi. I think I covered it a long time ago. In one of the Nirukta verses, or in such of mantras or sayings, he's saying, repeating the words is like dry wood which is not lit. And if the dry wood which is not lit is like weight, heavy burden which we carry. So if we carry the words and which we have not understood the meaning, then they become dead weight. So what he says is, if you do not understand the meaning, then it is like a stump. It's like a pillar. He used the word sthanu. Okay, so that means which does not move. It stands. But once you know the artha means that which makes you move is artha, meaning. So this what is described that. So I was reading that, and so for example, in Tamil there's something called Sumaidangi. I don't know whether people have heard this. Sumaidangi means in ancient India, on a thoroughway, they will have pillars, stone pillars, every kilometer or something like that, or every mile or whatever. What happens is people who carry burdens, and they're supposed to rest. You carry it on your head, and you get tired, so you put it on that pillar. It's like a stand, and rest before you move on. Okay, so those pillars are called Sumaitangi. So that was the ancient infrastructure, you can say, which was set up by rishis, old ancient kings, so people can travel. Okay, so texts like this are also like that. Knowledge is actually in pillar form. We can rest it and stand, but Yaska says then that becomes dead weight, and you can't carry, and you have to rest it here and there now once in a while. But once you know the meaning and you internalize it, you will become a person who moves. That's artha. So artha, once you understand the meaning, you will be able to move. Until then, you are just carrying burden and standing in one place. So for us to be able to move with any of this, we should understand the meaning. So that the Yaska says, you need to study Niruktam, so you understand the meaning of the words in the Vedas, so that they do not become mere burden, but you can move with that knowledge. And that's what Yaska says. And I think Swami, in one of his discourses, he has a nice Swami's poem. He says, Uttamatala cheta chittam sat chit anandamu pondadu. Swami says, with empty words, Uttamata, empty words, Uttamatala cheta, because of empty words, your chittam will not achieve bliss. Anandam pondadu, it will not. Sat chit anandam pondadu. So our words, if they are just mere empty words, they will not. And Swami says, Vittanambu leni bhumilo mottamuga pandemi pandu. He says, without seeds, how much you may till the land, it will not give you crop. So learning to understand the meaning and contemplating on the meaning is a necessary aspect of all Vedic chants. Otherwise, Swami will say it's as good as a gramophone record. So that's why we are going through the meanings, and hopefully with Swami's grace, he will make us understand and internalize. Thank you, Auntie. I hope I thought I'd just compliment what you said.
Thank you.
If there are no questions, it's 10:20, we can close with Samastaloka and Shanti. Saira. So we'll close with Samastaloka and Shanti. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.